Well, folks, my last video got age restricted, but if you're one of the 89 people who did watch it, then you'll recall I said this. I'm gonna give myself a break and do one that's less, extreme for the next video. So I picked the human centipede. Yes, it is more fun than a Serbian film. Everything is more fun than a Serbian film. This movie was not my foray into extreme horror because technically that was Passion of the Christ, but this was probably the second one. I watched it my junior year of high school when a girl in my Spanish class was telling me about how f***ed up it was, and I've always just had a little bit of morbid curiosity, so I watched it. And when it was over, I was like, oh, honestly? Not as gross as I thought, considering the concept. The Human Centipede was released in 2009, and it's part of a trilogy directed by Tom Six. Maybe if you guys like this one, I'll cover the other two. I have an unpopular opinion. I think the third one is the best one. Shut up. I'll defend Final Sequence until the day I die. This movie is supposed to serve as a commentary on human experimentation with parallels to World War II, and I feel like that's really all the depth it has, so let's dive into this kiddie pool. We open on some lovely scenic shots of a German highway as the opening credits roll. It looks like it's like super early fall. I bet that weather is beautiful. Anyway, we come up on a guy in a Benz with sunglasses on, crying over some pictures of a dog centipede? A doggo centipede? Canine centipede. Canine centipede. Canine centipede. The prequence. I've got your next movie. A trucker pulls over to pee and the guy gets out of the car and presumably shoots him. So now we're in a hotel with our two main girlies. Their names are Lindsay and Jenny, and they sure are. Just girlies on a girls trip. Girls trip through Europe. They're like a case study in poor choices, these two. Jenny is on the phone getting directions to a club, and Lindsay is on the phone with someone named Amy, who never comes up again after this scene. But we needed to learn a lot of information really fast, so phone call. This movie said let's get to the literal shit as fast as possible.
Yeah, we got you a present. No, we can't tell you what it is. It's a surprise.
Okay, that's funny. Imagine. Surprise! Where would you wear those? You ever worn a wood clog? It's like not comfy. Anyway, we learned that they met a cute German waiter who invited them to a party. What could possibly go wrong? I've definitely never seen movies where this is a plot that goes wrong. They head off to the party and oh no, they're lost in Germany.
Do we go left or right?
I'm sorry, I just don't know where we are.
This John Waters ass acting really kills me. Like, it's so over the top that there's no way my brain can take it seriously. It's camp. Look at that cut. I didn't do anything to that. That's how the movie is. Amazing. They blow a tire, and so now these two girls are stranded in Germany, and they are fully unprepared to handle the elements.
There's no signal.
There's always a signal. No, I do not know how to change a tire.
Well, neither do I.
I have heels and shorts on. I'm not going outside.
I can appreciate a sweet, simple setup. An old man pulls up to them and he starts acting just crusty and sloppy and gross, and he just sits there next to them for like almost an uninterrupted minute before driving off. Cool.
I enjoy being a girl.
They decide to take off on foot and get lost literally immediately, but right when Jenny starts to forget what to do with her hands, they stumble across a house. And they start knocking on doors trying to get someone to let them in, and who answers the door but our guy from the opening scene. Uh-oh. The first thing he does is ask if they're alone, and when they say yes, he locks the door with a key once they get inside. It's casual. Super normal and casual. This dude is a wackadoodle, by the way. He has this giant painting of conjoined twins on his wall and black candles on his coffee table, and he's asking really weird questions, including if they want something to drink, and they say yes, because that's a good choice, and of course it's drugged. Why would it not be drugged? Lindsay spills her water, and this guy loses his absolute mind, and then this happens. Girl, no! He goes to the basement, and to absolutely nobody's surprise, he has someone down there, possibly the guy from the opening scene. And when he comes back up, the drugs are kicking in, and this exchange happens.
What's going on? Look at me. What's wrong?
Drug.
Oh my God. What? What?
Rohypnol.
Chill out, man. This is just drug. Rohypnol. Jesus. He also knocks out Lindsay. He has a well-balanced breakfast of a gigantic bowl of canned fruit, just as the girls are waking up in the basement with the guy from the opening scene. The doctor comes down and tells him that he's not a match, so he's got to kill him, and so he kills him and buries him in the backyard. Then he goes out and gets a new guy.
That was easy.
He goes back to the basement and he introduces himself.
I'm Dr. Joseph Heiter. Retired but still very well known as the leading surgeon in separating Siamese twins.
I think we're supposed to say conjoined now, right? And then he shows them the most asinine slideshow I've ever seen in my life. Like, it actually looks like it was drawn in the 70s. This looks like a 1970s anatomy class. He's gonna sew them booty hole to pie hole. We know this. It's the human centipede, for f***'s sake.
The human centipede.
He starts sedating them for surgery, but Lindsay busts through her straps and takes off. Thus far, Lindsay has made the only good choice in this whole entire movie. But then she leaves an actual trail of blood on the walls and locks herself in a bedroom, so I'm not really sure if that cancels out. It has a lock, though, so that's good. He bangs on the door for a while, and then he goes outside to break the window. Good thing she lost the key. Oh wait, she found it. Good. She falls into his stunning indoor pool. Sorry, look at this pool. It's amazing. Anyway, he's like, oh yeah, well, you have to be in the middle of the centipede now. And he closes the pool on her. But luckily she has almost inhuman lung capacity and is able to hold her breath until he leaves. She goes back to the bedroom and she looks out the shattered window and she has a totally clean shot. Does she take it? No! She goes to get Jenny. Jenny. Jenny can wait. We can call the police and save Jenny later. This is almost as frustrating as Michael kicking the map into the river in the Blair Witch Project. That guy. Lindsay's terrible choices. Look at her literally trying to drag Jenny's limp-ass body through this house. Is this Weekend at Jenny's? This is absolutely not final girl behavior. Look at this. This is ridiculous. He shoots her with a dart gun because literally, of course, he was gonna catch up to her. She's going slower than Michael Myers wading through a pool of jello. Happy Halloween. So here we go. It is Centipede O'Clock, and it's honestly not nearly as graphic as you'd expect. Like, I'm not gonna show any of the surgery because YouTube, but I've seen episodes of Bridalplasty more violent than the surgery scene in The Human Centipede. Do you guys remember that show? Bridalplasty? Peak trash. So Dr. Joseph finishes his centipede and then has a new window installed. I get it. Priorities. And then we finally get to see this centipede. I love that the Playboy bunny tattoo is on this guy. Expect the unexpected. The idea of the centipede is nasty, but the way they do it is like weirdly aesthetically pleasing. Like, look at this shot. It looks like a nubile film shoot. He gets them up on their hands and knees and takes some pictures. Come on, Vogue. Let your body move to the music. And then he makes them look in a mirror. You guys look great. He basically treats them like his dogs. They sleep in a crate, they eat out of a dog bowl, he teaches them tricks. It's all very bizarre. You tell him. Oh shit, never mind. This goes on for a while, so let's just speed through it. Oh no. Oh no. That night, Dr. Joseph tells them to shut up so he can sleep and then goes for a skinny dip. And honestly, he's a psychopath, but he really takes time to practice his self-care, and I love that for him. They try to make a break for it while he's swimming, and then he beats them for disobeying, but personally, I would beat them for their poor decision-making skills. Like, he was right there. You guys do not move fast. Anyway, segment A is constipated and Dr. Joseph is gonna give him a laxative because this is the Human Centipede and we need more poop stuff. Oh, also Jenny's dying. The police call and tell Dr. Joseph that they'd like to speak with him, but police in horror movies are useless, so the fact that they're here means nothing. He tries to drug the police, but it doesn't work out. But he still, like, has the confidence to go downstairs and tell the Centipede that he's gonna swap the two girls with the cops, because, you know, Jenny's dying and Lindsay can't be too far behind. She's in the middle. Cops want to look in the cellar, but Joseph refuses and tells them to come back with a warrant. When Joseph gets back to the basement, it appears that the Centipede is gone, but then, psych, the Centipede pops out, stabs Joseph, and then bites a chunk out of his neck. Go, Centipede, go! Then the Centipede goes up the stairs, and honestly, this is the worst scene for me to watch personally, because, like, stitches are ripping. You can tell they're not having a good time. Dr. Joseph wakes up off the floor and starts crawling after them, but he does take a break at the top of the stairs to drink the ass blood. It's a choice. It is a choice. Lindsay points segment A towards the bedroom window and he shatters it with a lamp. Then Joseph finally catches up to them and he's holding a scalpel and A is holding a shard of glass. And we think we're gonna get into a scalpel versus glass shard fight when A instead gives a long-winded monologue and slits his own throat with it. My dude. Like, I get it, but also this is a team effort right now, my guy. Way to let the Wildcats down, Troy Bolton. Hey, am I right? Doorbell starts ringing because the police are back with that warrant, so Joseph army crawls into his amazing pool, and I can't blame him. That's where I'd want to die too. The cops search the house, find Dr. Joseph, and then all three of them find a bullet. So now the cops are dead, Joseph is dead, A is dead, and Jenny is dying, so it very much sucks to be Lindsay right now. Jenny dies, and the camera pans out. End of movie. The credits roll as Jenny continues crying. Not to be that guy, but I feel like if I was Lindsay, I would have like had myself a little cry and then cut myself out of the centipede with a glass shard, right? So we can only hope that Lindsay had herself a cry and then cut herself out of the centipede and then went and called German 911. What is German 911? 112 for fire and medical, 110 for the police. I honestly don't hate the human centipede. Now I don't love it, but I can appreciate its campy moments and its original story. Gross, but original. And that's the human centipede. Do you guys like the human centipede? Have you seen the human centipede? Should I talk about the other two human centipedes? Do you want me to talk about the third human centipede? Let me know, and happy Halloween.